Edexcel English Language Paper 1, Section A, Question 4. Question 4 is an evaluation question, and you're being asked to look at the effectiveness of the text as a whole. It assesses AO4, and the mark scheme asks you to evaluate the use of the settings, ideas, themes, and events within the text. Remember that you don't need to evaluate all 4 of these things. You may find that you have a text where the themes and the settings are the most effective elements in the piece, and you just focus on those elements. Unlike question 3, where you are asked how a writer does something, in question 4, you are being asked how well they achieve something. It is often easier to agree that the writer has achieved what the question is asking you to evaluate. You should aim to write at least 4 to 6 paragraphs in this question, as it is worth 15 marks, meaning that it is worth half of the marks available in the reading section, so you must spend some time planning. Try to ensure that you have a range of ideas and think about how they work together within the text. So how do you write an evaluation paragraph? Question 4 will always begin with, in this text there is an attempt to. Go through the text and highlight places where the settings, ideas, themes or events help create whatever the focus of the question is. For example, if the question is asking you to evaluate how successfully the writer builds up tension and the piece is set during a storm, this would be a useful setting to analyse, so underline a quotation about the storm. Your focus for this question is how well the writer achieves something, so each of your paragraphs should contain evidence of a judgment being made. For example, the writer successfully conveys a sense of tension by setting the text on a stormy night, with the narrator surrounded by the noise of the driving of the snow. This setting is particularly effective because it would imply that the narrator could find himself trapped by the weather. You need to create a sustained critical overview of the text, so you must try to use your evaluative language consistently and think about how the text works as a whole. To gain the highest marks, you need to create a persuasive tone with your response. Aim to use phrases such as, this impression or effect is reinforced by. The writer effectively builds a sense of tension by. The effect of the setting is enhanced by the writer's use of. You need to ensure that you are focused on the question, so try to use the language of the question in your response. The highest band asks you to use discriminating references, so you should aim to embed short quotations to support your answers. For example, the writer successfully builds up tension through the idea that this experience is similar to a nightmare, clearly reflecting the terror the narrator feels. The reason that most students lose marks in this question is because they forget to show a judgment by using evaluative language or by focusing on the narrow effects of language rather than the wider effects of things like settings, ideas, themes, and events. And that's it for question 4.